Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh and welcome to another episode of Wednesday Watchlist. So in this week's episode, I'm going to be doing two movie reviews of movies that I've recently seen. The first of which is going to be Sinners, and then I'm also going to talk about Thunderbolts. I recently went to go see both of these movies at the theaters. And then after that, I am going to wrap things up by just going over, again, the shows that I'm currently watching and discussing some upcoming films that I am excited for / looking forward to seeing that are about to come out. And then that will pretty much be it for this week's episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss the two movies that I've recently seen. And we're going to start off again with Sinners. So starting off with Sinners, the first thing that I want to say is I know I'm late to this, but I did finally get around to going to see this in theaters. I didn't go to IMAX. I know I should have went to IMAX. And the first thing that I want to say is this movie is fantastic. This movie is so good. I like everything about this movie. I only have like one, I guess you could say, complaint / con about this movie, and I'll discuss that at the very end of my review. But this movie is amazing. Like, this movie, I definitely think is gonna win some awards when awards season comes around. Like, I don't see how it couldn't, just because, again, this movie is just so good. Like, cinematography is on point. All the actors do a great job here. Michael B. Jordan is kicking butt here. The music is phenomenal. Like, it's just like, everything about this movie is just so good. So, for those of you that don't know what this movie is about, so essentially the best way for me to sum this up without like ruining or spoiling anything is this is a movie that takes place during the early 1900s about a pair of twin brothers trying to open a juke joint, and then out of nowhere vampires pop up and like the whole thing goes south. Like, that's basically the best way I can explain it without giving away too much information, because I don't want to spoil this for anybody who hasn't seen it, but that is essentially what this movie is about. Now, in terms of the cast, we've got Michael B. Jordan, who plays both of the twins. They go by the names of Smoke and Stack. We've then got Haley Steinfeld, who's playing Mary. We've also got Miles, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, Miles Catton, who's playing Sammy. We've got Jack O'Connell, who's playing Remick. I apologize if I mispronounced this as well. Wunmi Mosaku, who's playing Annie. Lee Jun Lee as Grace. And Delroy Lindo as Delta. Now, there are several other actors in this film that I did not name just because they just didn't have as prominent as a role as the actors and actresses that I just mentioned. But essentially, like I said earlier, everybody in this movie is really good. Michael B. Jordan does a really good job playing both of the twins, and some of the shots, like there's one shot in the movie where they're like switching off cigarettes, I guess, to try and show off like how technology has like advanced so much now, where it's like you can shoot two different scenes and like smush them together and they'll look like they were shot at the same time. The shot is like super cool. Like, it's so cool. The way that he's able to play both of the twins, and they both have like their own personalities. Like, one of them is more business minded and business focused. Like, he's all about the money. Like, he's all about, you know, getting his paper together. And then the other one is more, you know, chill and relaxed. Like, the way he's able to just play these twin brothers and have it just be so convincing is amazing. And I think it really shows off Michael B. Jordan's acting skills. And I think he does a really good job in this movie. And then Haley Steinfeld also does a fantastic job here as well. She delivers, I would say, an excellent performance in this movie. I really liked her character in this movie as well. Her character was very interesting and put a dynamic twist on things. And I also liked her backstory in the movie and like why she is around this group of individuals. I thought that was handled very well here. And again, like, her performance in this movie is just so good. Like, I've never seen this side of Haley Steinfeld, and I honestly had no idea she had this side of acting to her, but like, she does it so well. Again, this movie definitely should win some awards when awards season comes around. And then finally, one more cast member that I'm going to applaud is Miles Catton. He plays Sammy, and throughout this movie, he's singing multiple times. Oh my god. Like, this is another like younger, lesser known actor that can just like, his future is bright. Like, I'm telling you right now, his future is bright. He can sing so well. He does emotions really well. Overall, like, he's a good and talented actor. And I definitely think he's gonna get a lot more work after this movie just because his performance in this movie is so well done. Again, especially given the fact that he is singing in this movie and like conveying different emotions in here. Like, it's just all so well done. And his character is just really well written as well. There's several people in this movie that I think should get awards for their roles in this movie. And I think this movie should also also get several awards when awards season comes around, just because it is that good. Like, I'm telling you, if you have not seen this movie, you gotta go check it out. Like, trust me, this movie is good. Like, I'm not gonna go as far as to say it's the best movie of 2025 because I haven't seen, like, 2025 isn't over yet, but this is easily going to be in my top 10 list for top 10 movies of the year. Like, it's that good. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's that good. And then one more thing I really enjoyed about this movie before I move on to the one con / negative thing I didn't like about this movie is there's this one scene where they're all in the juke joint and the character of Sammy starts singing and playing his guitar, and then like the different generations of music start popping up in the room with them, like it's all connected. Oh my god, that scene is so well done. Like, I don't know whoever came up with that scene and like that idea, and the way that it's filmed and executed is a friggin' genius. The way that like the cinematography works, where the camera's just panning around the room and you see like the different generations of music popping up, and then like you hear all the different like types of music. Like, we get like older music, modern music, like, and then it just all like crescendos into this beautiful piece of music. Like, I don't know who came up with that idea, but please let's get them a promotion. Like, I don't know if that was Ryan Coogler himself or like somebody else on the set, but like that scene was so well done. So yeah, props to this movie all around. And then finally, the last thing is the one negative thing, or like the one, I guess you could say, con, is like I would have liked to see more, I guess you could say, action from the vampires. I'm not trying to like say that it wasn't a good film. It's a really good film, but I think I would have liked to see more stuff with the vampires. I feel like that wasn't really an afterthought, I would say, but I feel like it wasn't the main focus of this movie, which I completely understand. But I think I would have liked to just see a little bit more vampire action here and there, just because I think that would have been really interesting, and I think that would have added to like the amount of action stuff we get in this movie, and also the amount of like horror stuff we got from this movie. I feel like the horror elements were done really well. I feel like it gave us enough thrills and chills, if you will, but I would have liked to see more stuff from the vampires, just because I thought the story around the main vampire, I believe his name is Remick, like his story and like his backstory, I would have liked to have seen him a little bit earlier in the film, I think, and I would have liked to see like why all of a sudden he came to this town. But overall, like I said, it's a good film regardless. The person who plays Remick, his name is Jack O'Connell, I believe. He does a fantastic job in this movie as well. Like, his character is so well done. I also thought he did a really good job being a vampire. Like, I thought his acting is really good in this movie. He does the horror scenes really well. He does everything really well. Like, I'm running out of words for this film, but like, this film is so good. So again, I highly encourage you, if you have not seen Sinners, go check out Sinners, especially if you like horror movies or thriller movies or stuff like that, or you like movies with like a good juicy story and a good juicy plot. Definitely go check out Sinners. And now moving on to the second movie I saw this past week, I went to go see Thunderbolts. This movie is also another good movie. So I was a little bit skeptic, but like it blew my expectations out of the water. Like, I didn't think it would be as good as it was, and that's simply because of the state the MCU has been in for the past couple of years, and I'll talk about that more towards the end of this review. But for those of you who don't know what this is about, this movie is again an MCU movie, and it's about the heroes, or I guess you could call them anti-heroes, from other Disney projects. So we've got Yelena Belova from Black Widow, and I believe she's in the Hawkeye show. We've got Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then you've got US Agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Red Guardian. You've got Taskmaster in this. She's also from the Black Widow movie. So you've got a bunch of, I guess you could call them anti-heroes in this movie, and they all have to, or they're all essentially forced to team up to take down the Void, which is like the big bad in this movie. Also, you could say also take down, and I apologize if I mix up her name a little bit, but her name is long as heck. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine is, I think, her name. But they're forced to team up to take down the Void and also take down Valentina. And again, they're essentially anti-heroes, or they are anti-heroes. So they're not like the most popular characters here, but this movie does, I would say, every single character in this movie, except one, and I'm not going to spoil who it is, but if you've seen the movie, you'll know who I'm talking about. They do every single character in this movie justice. This movie, to me, like the main thing I got out of this movie was you can't let your past define you forever. Like, it's not good to like black out your past or like ignore it. Like, you have to confront it head on. You can't let it define who you're going to be forever. Like, you can change and you can become a better person, and just because you've made mistakes in the past doesn't mean you can't grow or can't become, again, a better person. And also that we all have like sadness and depression and just overall bad thoughts inside of us, but you have to fight those thoughts and you have to find ways to combat those thoughts. I think that those were the main two messages messages that this movie really was trying to like convey to the audience. And I picked up on those messages heavy, like especially with the void. Like the void is basically, and I'm not trying to spoil it, but the void is basically like the personification of like depression or like sadness. And so the way that this movie is written is so well done. Like again, I went into this movie being a little skeptic and being a little bit like, I don't really know if it's going to be that good, just because past MCU films have not been that good. Like we've gotten like what, 3 to 4 years now of just sloppy, messy MCU projects, like shows and movies. And so going into this, I didn't have the highest of expectations, but my expectations were not only met, but they were beaten, and I was genuinely surprised at that. Now, moving on to the cast of this movie, we've got Florence Pugh, who's playing Yelena Belova, Sebastian Stan, who's playing Bucky Barnes, Wyatt Russell, who's playing U.S. Agent, David Harbour as Alexei Shostakov, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, Olga Kurylenko as Taskmaster. You've got Lewis Pullman playing Robert Reynolds / Bob / the Sentry. And then you've also got Julia Louis-Dreyfus playing Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Again, as I said earlier, all of the characters in this movie are done very well. Like at the beginning of this movie, it essentially goes over like why these characters are anti-heroes, and then we get like, I wouldn't say like a full like revival arc, but we get like a very strong and clear arc for all of these characters, and I think that it's done so well here. Again, the main point of this movie being, even though you might struggle with certain things like sadness or depression, and even though those things might stem from mistakes you've made in the past, or they might cause you to make mistakes currently, that doesn't mean that you can't grow and become a better person. And I think that that message is done so well here, and especially for a Marvel movie, like this movie felt like a very nice breath of fresh air. Like this movie felt grounded, it felt good, it felt like a nice strong wind underneath the sails of the MCU, if that makes sense. Like this movie is just very, very good. I think that if the MCU can keep going in this direction and telling these more grounded stories, then the MCU might be back on track and we might be getting like as good of movies as we used to get. I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I didn't have the highest of expectations here. It's the MCU. We've been getting slop for like the past 4 to 5 years. So I didn't have the highest of expectations, but again, those expectations were met and exceeded here. This movie is so good. Like Florence Pugh is excellent in this movie. She is a bright, shining star here. Her character and her role in this movie is so well done and well written. Like, I don't know who wrote this movie, but like whoever wrote this movie and wrote the characters in this movie, like, yes, this is what we need more of. I like Sebastian Stan in here as well, although I wish he would have been in the movie more, but I do think that his role in the movie is good. I also like Wyatt Russell in this movie. Like when he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I did not like his character at all. I thought he was very headstrong, very cocky, very arrogant. I didn't like his character at all. I didn't like his character. You know, that's how he's supposed to be written. You know, he's not supposed to be a character that we like. But in this movie, I actually started to like him, like especially towards the end, how his character changed overall through this movie. Again, he didn't change the most, but I liked the little bit of change that I saw in him. So again, like whoever wrote this movie did a really good job here. And then as far as David Harbour's character, his character in this movie I would say is fine. I don't mind Alexei. I just would like to see this character tap into more Captain America-ness of this character, because his character is a super soldier and he pretty much went through the same thing Captain America did, except like the Russian version. So like I get there's going to be differences, but I would like to see his character tap into the more like assertive, dominant, like leader type person that he was really, I guess you could say, supposed to be. Again, he was basically like the Russian Captain America. So I'd have liked to see that a little bit more. I feel like David Harbour is fine in this movie. I feel like, I don't want to be too mean, but like I feel like there's definitely parallels between how he plays this character in this film and also how he plays his character in Stranger Things. I definitely see a little bit of parallels there, but that's not a bad thing. And then as far as Ghost's character, again, without spoiling too much, would have liked to see her in this film more. Would have liked to have seen more from her character. As far as Taskmaster, what can I say other than, without spoiling it, like, I'm happy she's here. And then as far as Lewis Pullman's character as Bob / the Sentry, I thought his character was also really good. I I know I've seen some people online talk about that they didn't really like Bob, and they didn't really just like him like as a character, like as a person in this movie. I actually kind of like Bob. I felt very empathetic of Bob and like the things that he had gone through in this movie. Again, not spoiling it, but like I felt very empathetic with him. I don't know, I thought his character was fine in this movie. I didn't really have a problem with his character. As far as the Sentry, I thought the Sentry was really cool. You know, I definitely see the parallels here between the Sentry and Superman, but there's also like enough differentiating factors that I think it works and it doesn't feel like Marvel's version of Superman. So I think his character worked here. I know some people didn't like Bob, like the Sentry. I like both of them. I thought they were both very well done here. And then as far as Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I apologize if I mispronounced her name, but her character here, I got strong parallels between the character she played in HBO's Veep. Like, I feel like in an alternate universe where Veep and the MCU are in the same universe, I could instantly see Selena Meyer, like after her run as president, doing something like this. Like this, to me, like I got strong parallels again from that character, which isn't a bad thing. It's just really like the way she acted on screen and like the way she conducted herself and like the way her character was written. I was like, this literally, to me, seems just like how Selena Meyer was in the later seasons of Veep. The parallels are heavily there. And again, the parallels between these characters, like again, with David Harbour's character being similar to the one he plays in Stranger Things and Julia's being similar to the one she played in Veep, that's not a bad thing in this movie because again, it's very well written. And so I feel like it was kind of like a little nod to other film nerds, show nerds like myself. I feel like it was like a little nod to that and like the fact that these people are very well known and they play very well and I thought that was cool. But yeah, definitely got heavy Selena Meyer vibes off of Valentina in this movie. So yeah, overall, I think that, again, this is a breath of fresh air for the MCU. I really like this film. Like, again, I didn't think that I was going to like it as much as I did, and I'm genuinely surprised that it was as good as it is. I've heard people talk about like the lack of action and stuff like that in the film, and I get that, but like if we want the MCU to actually go back to where it was and like consistently put out hit after hit, we've got to realize we've got to build like ground level stories. The Wall Street Journal put out an article talking about why Marvel like has been in such a rut, and it discusses like how it was basically all because of Disney Plus. Kevin Feige felt pressured from the executives to put more content out so that they could put it on Disney Plus as essentially a way to entice people to subscribe to Disney Plus. And so I definitely see the dots connected there, and I definitely see how that makes sense, especially because some of the worst MCU projects, looking at you, Secret Invasion, were Disney Plus exclusive shows. Like I can definitely see that. And so I feel like this is like, again, a breath of fresh air here. And I feel like if the MCU can really continue forward on the path that this movie has laid out for it, we can get some really good films. And one thing that I think is really essential for the MCU to do going forward is to build more ground level stories, like build more stories that are grounded in reality and aren't like universe or world ending threats. I think that's a really good idea, to build more ground level stories that like won't guarantee the end of the world, but like they'll have a negative effect on a lot of the characters we care about, or some of the characters we don't care about in the case of this movie, or like the C and D list characters. I think this movie is again very well done. I don't think I can really liken it to any other MCU film, and I think that's just because this feels like just a new era for the MCU. Like it feels like they're in uncharted territory here, and they've hit the treasure spot to me. Like I feel like this movie is again very well done. So yeah, I would definitely say that if you're looking for like a new MCU movie that really like pushes the MCU in a new direction, go check out this movie. And then lastly, because I know this video is getting long, I'm gonna just quickly talk about some shows that I'm watching and some upcoming movies that I want to go see. So firstly, with shows that I'm watching, I'm still watching 3, I guess you could say 4 shows. The first of which is The Studio on Apple TV. If you like Hollywood and you like behind the scenes stuff on Hollywood, check this out. Next up is Hacks. If you like comedy or you're looking for a new comedy show, go check this out. Lastly is Lazarus. If you liked Cowboy Bebop or you're looking for a new anime to check out, this one is also another good anime. And then lastly, I'm gonna call this part Next Up. This is like movies that are about to come out that I want to go see. So first up is Final Destination Bloodlines. We haven't gotten a Final Destination movie. I think it's been like a decade, if I'm not mistaken. These movies haven't come out for a while, but I'm glad to see this franchise is back. Next up is Hurry Up Tomorrow. Now this is The Weeknd's like, not biopic, but like kind of biopic in a way. Like it's about him, but it's not directly about him. It's kind of like, I think like an alter ego version of him or something like that. And then lastly, we've got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This was supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 2, but they changed the name. That is pretty much going to conclude this week's episode of Wednesday Watchlist. But as always, thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!